So, good morning viewers, and in the series of our interaction about the rasas, we have completed two, that is the two on the Sodhan and one was the on introduction, and today and tomorrow, I mean two lectures will be on the concept of the Maran, the most important procedure or the phenomenon or the whole philosophy of the rasas is depending on this process of the Maran. So, if you see what we do by what we understand by this and what are the methodology for it. If you go through these two classical verses, Rasadi Dravya Pakanam Praman Gyapnam Putam Nesto Nyunadika Paka Supakvam Hit Aushadham. In the Rasat Samuchaya, in the 10th chapter, it has been defined in this way that whatever we have the substances, materials in the rasas, ras and etc. means the whole Maharas, Uparas, Sadharana ras, Dhatu, Updhatu and Sudha Varg, Sikta Varg, then here is the need of their Pak. Pak is done by the Pak process is the Maran. But here it is something different. This is the definition of the put, Pramana Gyapnam Putam. How much energy is required for a very good Pak of all these materials used into the therapy of the rasas, and Nesto Nyunadhika Paka means neither less quantum of energy or more quantum of energy are required if it is the well defined process, that is the put, if it is followed in a very systematic way as per the classics, then certainly one has to have an aushadhi which is beneficial for the humankind, for the humanity. After that, this process is also explained by very much that what way we are making all this process of the Maran. For this, the same book is asking Loha Nam Maranam Sreshtam Sarvesham Ras Bhasmanam. Here, law is for Dhatu. But we can use it for the others also, other substances, and it said that for their Maran, which I am going to explain today, that the best way is if the intermediate products are from the Ras. And here is specifically the mercurial products. If any dhatu is being incinerated or the calcinated, with the two different terms used for the two different terminology, we will discuss it later. If you are going through the Maran process of any dhatu, the best quality one can achieve if intermediary media is there, ras. Muli bhi madhyamam prahu. That means if we are using all the botanicals, then it is the medium class. The lowest quality, if the gandhak is used as the intermediary substance, and the poor quality, which should not be used therapeutically, is with the Arilaw. Arilaw is the concept when it has been given that a particular dhatu is having just a counter effect if it is it may be defined synonym. Arilaw means the enemy dhatu, and for that if anything is being prepared applying that will not be good. For any procedure, the first thing is required equipment, yantra. Then here is a need of some intermediary media which are helpful in the process. And whatever the process which is known as a put, if you are giving, then what should be its frequency, and finally it's Bhasma Pariksha, or we can say completion tests. So let me explain what is the equipment here. As you have just heard few minutes back that Rasadi Dravya Pakanam Praman Gyapnam Putam Nesto Nivnadika Paka Supakvam Hit Ausadham. Here yantra is simply means the put. Whatever the put we define into the classics of the rasas, and it's all dimensions, frequency, that is the main yantra for the process of the maran. In the case of the put, we can divide it again into some different divisions, and that is the Mahaput, Gajput, and of course Crowd put and Kukut put, and Kaput put. Another group is here Bhudhar put, Bhand put, Lavan put. So I wish to explain it here a little bit. The whole system of the put is under the two categories. At one step, the temperature range is high, duration is low. Another group, temperature range is low in comparison, and duration of the whole business is high. When I say this, I mean in case of Mahaput, Gajput, Krodput, and Kaput, Kukutput and the Kapotput, the highest temperature range for all these five, it may be ideally up to the 800 to 1000 degree centigrade. But if you see the whole business procedure, means the available of the heat in the Arohi Kram, then the Asthir, then Avrohi Kram, it is going to be completed into the 5-6 hours only. But the difference between the Mahaput to Kapotput is this status is different. For example, if it is the for Mahaput, it is the 1 hour, then for Gajput it may be of the 45 minutes, for the Krodput it may be of the 30 minutes, Kukutput less, and the Kapotput for the few minutes. But here in the case of this group, Bhudhar, Anput, Lavanput, if you see all that, here the temperature range is up to the 400 degree to the 600 degree centigrade, but the range duration is high, 24 hour, 36 hour, all these things. Dear learners, I wish to convey you the thought that this whole arrangement is made for the total quantum of the energy, to the total quantum of the heat required for conversion of a material which is known as the gold, silver, copper, iron, pyrite, bauxite, chalcopyrite, or all the calcium products, the concepts, like all that. If you see the structure, the physico-chemical structure, all its characters, these are the different in every specific characters. So as per their physico-chemical characters, these puts are applied for their bhasmikaran, what we call in the simple words the process of maran. The whole business is here, how this process is making these industrially toxic substances. Mind my words, industrially toxic substances. When I say industrially toxic substances, means when any of these, what we call Maharas, Sadhanaras, Uparas, Dhatu, Updhatu, if it is procured from the mines in its different compound form, it cannot be used directly to the human body. We have understand the process of the Sodhan in the last few our interactions. Today I am emphasizing on the issue or the process, that is the maran. This is the main process which is successfully converting these minerals and the metals into the form of a bhasm, which is a very, very therapeutically effective drug of Ayurveda. Okay, in the very short, because it takes even if I go to my PG and doctorate classes for the Maran, it required at least 6-7 hours just for the understanding. But for here, I have to complete just in 1 hour. I am skipping a lot of things. Here, this is a very important. What is the media? So I established that yantra is the mainly put and the different kinds of the put and the type of the put which is applicable to a individualized or the particular metal or the mineral is decided by our acharyas on its basis of physicochemical characters, and that quantum of the energy which is required to convert all that metal and the mineral in a particular chemical constituency. Mostly these are the sulfide. For example, if I say in the case of the Rajat and the Rajat Bhasm, the final product is the silver sulfide. So whatever the put we are giving, that is able to produce silver sulfide. If it is the bung, that is the stannous sulfide. If it is the lead, that is the lead sulfide. The same material may be converted into the another form, that is the oxide, in the process of the put, if it is the higher grades or the as per the chemical constituency, temperature range is high or low. So it is said there ki nesto nyunadhikam pakam supakvam hitausadam. See, when I come to the Bhasma Pariksha, it will be detailed more elaborately. Here I will just wish to say the concept of the minds of all the learners who are listening this interaction, that this put are basically responsible for the conversion of these all mineral and the metals into the form of a medicine. That is the specified, very individualized process, and the completion tests are given there, which I shall talk after 10-15 minutes. Okay, here it is the media. So media is because there is the frequency. If it is said that the Abrak Bhasma may be prepared into the 10 puta, or the Law Bhasma into the 15 puta, or the Tamra Bhasma it is the 30 puta, or it is said Satputi Abrak Bhasma means 100 times put, or we can say that for Swarn it said the 5 times. So there is a different frequency numbers are given. So here between two put of the same metal or the mineral, there is a process which is known as bhavna and the mardan, which we follow, and in this process of the bhavna and the mardan, after one put before next put, this media is very important. Here we use some kind of botanical juice, decoction, sometimes animal products, milk or the urine as per the indications. This is really thing which is very much responsible for those final bhasmas which are organometallic compounds. By this process only in the media, the bhavna, in which we are taking the product of the last put and giving it again, grinding it, that is the mardan, with the some specified material. For example, if it is the law, it is the tiflakvat. If it is the swarnabhas, then it is the kanchanar soras. If it is the manasila, then it is the something specific things are there which are used in the process of the bhavna. So somebody says sometimes we can change it, the type of the swaras. If it is the kanchanar swaras, no, I can use the here another plant material, and I can take the decoction or the self-expressed juice of that. Here we strongly object no, because this is the only media which is responsible for conversion of that particular chemical constituency of that final product of the bhasm, which is responsible or the assimilable to the human body. So here any change, there are some researches that has been done. People have changed the media. They have used another plant source, not that particularly. In case of swan, not the kanchanar source, something else for this process of the bhavna. Then it is said that particularly characteristics were not available, were not found there in the final product. It's maybe in the reverse order, the frequency, that we have to repeat the process of the put till we are not getting the Bhasma Pariksha. So, when we are talking about the process of the Maran, we are discussing the equipment. The equipment is the put and then the intermediary media and then the frequency. I talked about the frequency. It is given for different numbers of the frequency for a single mineral and the metals, and if their intermediary process is the different, accordingly that number will be high or the low. For example, if you are preparing by taking the arsenical media or the mercurial media, then certainly the frequency is being low, and if only the botanicals are used, then it is the high. For example, if it is the law bhasm and the law bhasm is being prepared one by only of the application of the Tiplak, and it is going up to the 30 and with the Mahaput or the Gajput, but if arsenicals are used there or mercurials are used there, which are indicated in the different class 6, the number of put is really quite less, and even the type of the put what is used there. I wish to say that very emphatically that intermediary product what the bhavana is used either from the mineral origin, if it is the arsenical or the mercurial, or from the plant origin, it decide the disintegration or the surface enhancement of the surface size of that particular material which has been procured after Sodhan, and then finally after the different procedure of the repetition we are getting the stage which we call Bhasm. Here I have to little bit only explain completion test. And the completion test is here, that is simply that may be divided into the 3 category: physical test, chemical test, biological test for any Bhasma. If it is like that, we go for the completion test. What we have defined: the Varitar, Rekhapurn, Apunarbhav, Anjan Sadrish. Then certainly there are some Adhum and the Unam, Awami, and all these are the tests. Means anyone, if they are talking about what is the parameters of the quality control or the quality assurance of the Bhasma, then we can say it very much in a scientific way what we are having this criteria of the Bhasma Pariksha, they are as good as the ciprofloxacin quality control method or any drug of allopathy which is the as per the IP or the USP or the BP whatsoever things. So our quality test of the, for example, if I am talking about the only 2, Niruth and the Apunarbhav, and then the Varitar and the Anjan Sadrish. Varitar means it should be float on the stagnant water. It simply indicate the specific gravity of the molecule, the particle size of the final product. It should be in the the range of the nano and the micro. It is something which is going on ki all the Bhasmas are nowadays are the nano size or the nanoparticle. No, it is not. All the Bhasmas are mostly combinations of the micro and the nano, and in this also the micro part is larger in comparison of the nano. So here if it is the Varitar, if it is going on floating on the water, it is the one completion test. If it is the simply so, it is so defined, one can be surprised by knowing it, that the Anjan Sadrish, which simply means what? When a man is applying coryllium and the mucous membrane of the eye is not irritating or not reacting, so that Bhasma should be of that fine things up to the finer state, your inner, all the tissues or the membranes should not react to that particular fine product which we are calling as a Bhasma. So they are saying Anjan Sadrish. If you say the another one, the Rekhapurn, that is also, that Rekhapurn is also for the determination of the particle size, and that particle size in the furrows of a finger, our Bhasma should be of that finer state, it should enter into these fingers. Again, This is to ensure that particular particle size which is in between the micro and the nano. Another one is here, which is really also very important, that is the apunarbhav and the nirutt. Apunarbhav simply means कि पहले जैसा ना हो, it should not be like previous. Here they are ensuring that after the process of the put, there's that particular material, either law or the gold or the silver or the copper or the lead or the stannous or the abrak or the markchik, anything else like that, or the tooth or the cast, many things, hartal, manasila, orpiment, realgar, then that should not come its previous state. Previous state means that particular chemical constituency, compound form, apunarbhav, they are ensuring. It should not be like that. Previous one means its metallic and the mineralic character, which may be toxic to the human body, that should not be. And they have a specific test for that. And after the performing that, we decide that this bhasm is now apunarbhav and it may be used. In the same way, there is a nirutt test. Here in this case, on the same temperature level, this is a very specific test which is ensuring that that is the best way of the quality control of the bhasma in the present day language, is that there is no free ionic character into the bhasma. That is decided by the nirutt test. The silver is the most reactive element, and if anything is freely available, it's in nearby, it will react with that and its weight will increase. The acharyas back 1500 years back, they invented this particular test, that bhasm, for example, 100 milligram is getting reacted with the 100 gram of the silver on the same temperature range, and if the weight of the silver is not increased or even decreased, it is a constant, then the bhasm is ready for the therapeutic purposes. This test is a very specific test, and it thrilled me when I thought how they have developed it, how they were knowing back 1500 years ago that the silver is the most reactive even as per the modern chemistry. So if any free radical is available into the bhasm, the weight of the silver will be increased and that bhasm will be sent again for the process of the put. So that is the quality control methodology at that time. And not only this, Unam test, Awami test, and means after taking, for the example, for the Tamra bhasm, it is not for all, but it is for the Tamra bhasm. If one is consuming and feeling the nausea or vomiting, means bhasm is not ready for the therapeutic purposes. So I hope that it is giving you a clear message that the process of the Maran is very, very systematic, and again I am emphasizing individualized, very particular things. No change of the intermediary media for the process, for the making of, for the manufacturing of any bhasma. What has been quoted into the classics, we have to follow that religiously. If anyone is trying to change that, then my suggestion to that particular fellow scientist, with his due respect, that you have to go for the quality, safety, efficacy studies of a new molecule as per the FDA, or you can say the CDSU in the case of India. Because whatever the laws of the land, they are permitting, they are exempting these all tests, which the preclinical studies, only for those methodology, only for those bhasmas or the medicine which are being prepared truly without any change as per the concepts of the Ayurveda and the Rasashastra. If any change is there, either in the temperature range or in the intermediary media, then one is suggested that you should ensure its safety after going through all tests or the measurements processes of that particular study. So here is a very simple suggestion. Involve technology, involve science into the making of the bhasma, but without compromising its the basic fundamentals, right? In this case, if I go further, that I wish to correlate it with some modern thought processes and some conceptions which are really damaging the whole process of this very systematic specified process of the Ayurveda and the Rasas. People start talking, even the scientist or the anyone else, that no, these heavy metals are toxic to the human body, and this should not be used. No, this metal, how they are preparing the Ayurvedic drugs, there is a big no in their mindset. So to those people, we invite to go through the readings of the Ayurvedic classics, the books, read that. English translations are available if you are not knowing Sanskrit. Hindi translations are available if you are not knowing even English. Then if you are not knowing Sanskrit, it's not a problem. It's even in the vernacular language, Marathi, Gujarati, Kannada, Tamil, in all these local language, these books has been translated. Go through that. Go through in all those books in which you are acquainted, you can understand, and if you see the whole process there, and then only you can realize how much systematic and individualized and specified this process, as you are making any nowadays electronics sensor or the system, in the equivalency of that, these things are there. And if you study all that, if you go through all that, then one can believe that after the process of the Sodhan and after the process of the further process of the Maran and till the Bhasma Pariksha, all these characters we are repeating the process, then what is that product is being made, and we call that Bhasma, and that Bhasma is as good as any molecule in the practice of the allopathy after 12-year or the 15-year research drug or like that. If you have invented all those after the research of 12 years, why you are not believing that these also have been researched for 500 years? I mean to say that the whole process, the Rasas started into the 5th AD, the Nagarjuna. At that time, the process of the Sodhan and the Maran was not discussed very much elaborately. The final things were there in these books with some few formulations. But if you come to the later part, that is the Rasa Samuchaya, of which I quoted the references in the beginning, or even the Ras Prakash Sudhakar is the first book, which is giving you the 100 formulations, means what? They took from Rasendra Mangal to the Rasa Samuchaya 700 years, Ras Prakash Sudhakar 500 years of the research, of the innovation, of all the experiential thoughts, experiential or the observational experiments. Then they write all this methodology, what we call Sodhan and the Maran. And that is the 1000-year tested practice. We all Indians, at least I can say, not Europeans or the Americans or the Australians, Indian population is using bhasmas in spite of all this propagation of all these so-called scientists, and even some Ayurvedists who are saying, no, in my practice I am using the herbs. But if it is the case that if this procedure or the methodologies of the Sodhan and the Maran are not effective on the making of that medicine, then certainly the Indian population have been extinct up to the date. Because before 17th century, the whole health care of this country known as India is being taken by the Ayurveda and the Rasastra. Now, if you see the recent data of the Ayurvedic companies, their sell of the Rasaushadhi division are higher in comparison of the, if you say the market growth, if you call the growth of the Rasaushadhi sector of any individualized company, for example Dabur or for the Dhoot Papeshwar Limited or the Nagarjuna or the even sometimes like the Unjha, If you see there, they are reporting in their annual business schedule that their market of the bhasmas are up in comparison of other churnas, asova and arist. The reason behind this is that these drugs are very effective when they are prescribing it, a very prepared after a tedious process up to that technology of adopting the technology of the modern, but the fundamentals are the same. That is the put, that is the amount of the heat, the quantum of the heat applicable needed for, and on the next interaction I shall try to make some correlations on the basis of laws of thermodynamics, on the basis of the other laws of the modern science. This systematic description of the put in Ayurvedic classics, which are being practiced from 1000 years, and they are established. If anything is not compromised in the process, in the media, and the Bhasma Pariksha is maintained, no doubt what we are preparing after the process of the Maran is a good drug, is a good medicine, and we call Bhasma. Here I wish to talk about something what people are talking nowadays, nano medicine and Bhasma. So this concept of the nano is starting from the 1953, when Robert Fine is said in a science, in a convention of the physics, that there is a much space below the bottom. Then there people started thinking nano, and nano word is in the practice, nano capsule, nano targeting, nano drug delivery system, nano tablets, everything was in the form of the nano. But here is the cautionary word, if I remember, I read into the Indian Drug and the Pharma Times, is that nano size of the same molecule in the allopathy, which were used in the micro size, when people tried its nano size, there was a sea change in its safety and the efficacy, and it was in the either way. It was some case it was harmful, and in some cases it was beneficial. So this is not a generalized character that every bhasma should be, bhasma may be called bhasma if it is in the nano size, because the experiment and the researches are establishing this fact that bhasmas are not absolute nano medicine. This I want to say here with my full integrity, that there is nothing like that. If a bhasma is prepared, then it's 100%, it should be in the nano scale. No, all bhasmas what we are preparing into after the bhasma pariksha, we can say it is micro plus nano, and micro is in the majority. I have no authority to say, because we have not experimented it, but I do believe that as in the case of the modern medicine, when they converted all the molecules in the nano size, and there were the adverse effect. In the case of the bhasma also, if someone is saying, no, I shall prepare every bhasma in the nano scale size, all the 100%, I doubt that the same beneficial effects will be there as they failed into the case of the modern system of the medicine. So we have to believe, yes, bhasmas are in the nano size, but it is not the absolute. It is a mixture of the micro and the nano. Certainly, few minutes for its safety. Everyone who is not knowing even the A, B, C, D of the Rasastra, and they resume in their mind, okay, law bhasma means that is the iron, and if someone is talking about it's the compound, then they thought what is the iron oxide or the iron carbonate or the ferrous carbonate or the ferrous oxide, like that, or even the copper oxide, cuprous oxide, or anything else which is available at the shop of the chemist of the high grade powders, that may be used as a bhasma. If Yasat bhasma is the zinc oxide, then one can use zinc oxide, which is available in the chemist shop or all that. My suggestion, or a serious suggestion to all those people, don't do it, don't think it. I have studied some reports, some people having the qualification of the M Pharma and the PhD, even other that, they are very crazy, and they want to say that if bhasma by the process of the Maran and it's the final form is this much 40% cuprous ferrous dioxide, or the ferrous oxide, or the 30% is the ferric oxide, and it is a combination of that, that is the law bhasma. And in the same way for the others also, if they are analyzing, applying the sophisticated analytical techniques, and then what is the wrong, why we should go for the long process of the put, we are using cow dung cake, there is appearance of the smoke, there is a loss to the environment, a lot of factors, a lot of things they are arguing. And yes, it is established that finally it is this, then why not take from the market, mix in that proportion and use that particle size, that is the micro nano, and as a bhasma. No, not at all. That is poison. If anyone is crazy, do the experimental studies, and you will find it, and you will record that the bhasmas which are used on those experimental animals, and these modern chemical moiety, chemical molecules in that particular combination or in that particular form, if it is given there, you see the results. So here I emphatically underline that bhasmas are not that simple, which is all those chemical constituency which is available in the shop of the good chemical molecules. These are different. These are different from where? Try again, I am coming on that issue only. This intermediary media and this repetition of the process is inculcating there some micro elements from the plant source, some another organic juice, yes, I can say, I wish to say swaras, organic molecule, but in the translation of the terminology, sometimes it is different. This process of the mardan, bhavna, and the repeated put is responsible for the making of the bhasm. Only final chemical constituency or the reproducibility of the final chemical constituency through the chemistry will not be a bhasm. Bhasm, yes, of course, bhasm is finally we have analyzed chemically what is the percentage, but if anything from the market and you are mixing and you say it is the bhasm, you have saved the all this energy and the environmental pollution, you check, no, it is not like that. The bhasm will be bhasm when it is produced by the bhavna, mardan, and only put, having all properties of the therapeutic efficacy and all those micro elements which has been inculcated into the final constituents of the bhasm through the process of the bhavna and the mardan, and that compound has been made through a series of the put, 10 put, 20 put, 30 put, as per the individualized metal or the mineral, like that. So it is the bhasma. One thing more before I end this interaction, that there is a very misconception among the people that there is nothing in the rasas about the, I mean Ayurveda, about the quality control. There is no system developed to look after this manufacturing process and the many more things. Friends, I just note it, the Government of India, its organization PLIM, it is more important for the undergraduates, sometimes postgraduates are knowing, but for the undergraduates who are listening this interaction, I wish to say, if they will see the this site of the Pharmacopoeia Laboratory of the Indian Medicine, and there we are the 2 books are available freely. That is the protocol for the Ayurvedic formulation and the quality control. If they download that, there are the parameters for each dosage forms are there, and the bhasma and the ras are the property or the there which has been defined. And any licensing authority, if any company is applying, then also there are the definition, there are the parameters under the section 3A, that is the defining the classical drugs, under the section 3H of the Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940, which is making that particular things what is called as the P&P, patent and the proprietary medicines. And my emphasis of the today interaction is, if you go to the rule 160 of the Drug and Cosmetic Rule 1945, there are some all processes, some are parameters which ensure it's the quality control of any Ayurvedic dosage form, including this bhasma. Many of the our fellow countrymen are not aware about that we have a good equivalent regulatory system what any other system of the medicine people can say allopathy is having. We are also have the same. Our parameters are also there to regulate the production, the manufacturing of the medicines, to regulate the market of the medicines, Ayurvedic medicines. But the real question is coming here in the implementation. Even in the many Ayurvedic colleges, all the teachers of the Ayurveda, if you ask them okay, what is the shelf-life period of the Ayurvedic medicines, where it has been notified, they are unaware about that. So there is a need of awareness among every Ayurvedist that here is the some law of the country which is regulating the medicines, as there in the allopathy nothing may be in the market without passing all these strict criteria of manufacturing and the marketing defined by the CDSCO. In the same way, we have, I am repeating, we have all the characteristics, criteria, parameter, licensing, manufacturing, marketing, but we are lacking the implementation and the awareness. If there is awareness, there will be automatic implementation. So here is the need of awareness that any bhasma which is coming into the market for sale, that has followed a proper justified classical procedure of the Sodhan and the Maran, that has meeting the parameter of the quality control and the quality assurance, which is in the form of the Bhasma Pariksha. And these are the classical things, but application of the science, all the machinery, the sophisticated analytical instruments for the same purpose are making our task easy. And if anything is coming with that, with the GMP certification, with the Ayush premium brand or the Ayush standard brand, with all the kinds of the certifications which are required, the WHO GMP, if a company is preparing all this, certainly they are servicing the Ayurveda, and through Ayurveda the common people of the India. Today's my message, my submission before every listener of this interaction, that if you follow the process of the Maran, which I just try to narrate in a very, very short form, and once again I say that the Maran is the most important phenomena, procedure of the making of Rasaushadhis. If Sodhan and the Maran is proper, you are making a good medicine. If there is any compromise on that part, certainly one is not making a medicine, one is making something for the business, and which may be poison for the normal common man who is purchasing that. And there are the cases of the reported toxicity. I assure you, if you see all that, there the basic lacuna is in the manufacturing. And if it is the manufacturing lacuna is not there, then again the reported case of the toxicity, certainly there will be some issue of the dose and the duration, because these bhasmas are used at a specific dose for a specific duration. It is not a generalized phenomena that you can take Trifluquat as much as you wish, Rasna Saptaquat as much as you wish, or the Sitopaladi Churn. Yes, it is this. For every bhasma, there is a certain indications for the dose and its duration, and then only a proper desired therapeutic efficacy may be achieved. So, in the end, the Maran process is very important, and anyone, if you wish to understand the Maran process, these four phenomena, that is, it's the all definitions and the criteria of the put, the importance of the intermediary media, the frequency, the repetition of the put, and of course this Bhasma Pariksha. On the next, I shall try to have some correlation with a good published paper. Even in the USA, in the Canada, there are the good paper are coming on the bhasmas. They are going up to the nuclear or the mitochondrial level of the studies. And they are going on the cell line of the breast cancer. And not only that, even in the India also, the laboratories of the good laboratories of the CSIR, good laboratories of the even the BARC, they are experimenting these studies and the bhasmas, and their results are really encouraging for this Indian science. And of course, the bhasma has a very good future in our country, properly provided follow the classical methodology. The technology is welcome without compromising, without violating the fundamentals. Thank you for your time, for hearing.